All right, so I wanted to put this video together to address an enormous problem that is sweeping the globe right now, which is restaurants and small businesses being hit by the coronavirus. So everybody is almost exclusively required to stay in their houses right now in quarantine, which is insane because, I mean, obviously good to stop the spread of it, but it's insane what the impact could potentially have to those small businesses. And I wanted to put this together to potentially offer partial solutions. Obviously this isn't going to recoup 100% of anybody's income, but in some cases, depending on how long this goes, it may allow to you know ease the burden, a lack of any revenue, and potentially allow businesses to keep carrying on, right? So just to name a couple stats here, the problem that I'm kind of trying to address is, as of March 17th, that was 3 days ago only, or 4 days ago, sorry, all restaurants in British Columbia, where I'm from in Canada, have been ordered to close. So just to give you some context, in Canada, the restaurant industry has 90,000 businesses and employs over 1 million people. In the United States, there's almost 700,000 restaurant businesses that employ 15 million people, and 50% of those have already closed. So it's a massive, massive impact. But I think, again, there is potential partial solutions that I don't believe that everybody needs to completely close. And this actually refers to some small service based businesses as well, where I think these same strategies can be used. And that's actually what brought my attention to these problems. I have some friends that own small brick and mortar businesses that have obviously seen a decline in foot traffic. So we're brainstorming ideas that could help them bring in short-term revenue to keep, paying the lease, keep the building afloat, so that hopefully they can come back stronger in 3, 4, 5, 6 months when this all passes by. So what to do? That's the question, right? Everybody's wondering, what can you do? I put this stat here: 30 to 40% of small businesses don't even have a website, because it almost adds insult to injury. Because a lot of businesses that can move online, obviously you're trying to move online right now, but if you don't have a website, it makes it even harder, right? It's no big deal for your average juicery or your average small restaurant to not have a website because they have amazing foot traffic. Maybe they have a great location. They get people that are regulars coming in there every day, every week. But the foot traffic goes to zero and they have no website. It makes it much harder to deploy these strategies because they're starting from scratch. That's exactly why I wanted to make this video, because I think this solution that you can deploy in literally a couple hours has the potential to, again, start bringing in revenue for you. So what you can do and what's happened is there's businesses that are out there, companies, tech companies preferably, or tech companies especially, that are trying to help small business owners. And the one that comes to mind the most is Shopify, right? So Shopify is going out of their way. If you haven't heard of Shopify, it's a way for primarily e-commerce businesses to move selling online. So think of it as if you had a small brick and mortar, t-shirt or yoga studio, not yoga studio, but like yoga pants. Like, imagine Lululemon didn't have a website and they were just the store. Shopify helps them move online, right? So there's probably dozens, if not hundreds, of brands that you're already familiar with that are selling on Shopify. They just provide all the tools for businesses to be able to sell online. And many brick and mortar service based businesses that aren't necessarily selling clothes also run off Shopify. They have a point of sale system in that's available, so you can just set up an iPad as your cash register and everything goes in sync, which is why I think they are the perfect example to be able to show people how easy it is to actually move online, so that you can, like I'm mentioning, potentially recoup at least partial amounts of your revenue. So in this video, what my goal is to actually, highlight. I'm going to walk through the three kind of ideas that we settled on for some of the small business owners that we're talking with that are reliant on this foot traffic. So one is going to be collecting revenue up front for future services. So offering gift cards. If you don't have a solution to offer gift cards right now on your website, or if you don't have a website, this is going to be a perfect example of how you can start offering that, again, almost immediately and for free. And for free. Okay. So the second is, if you're a restaurant and you are a little fed up with DoorDash, you can't, maybe your margins are already the average 6-7%, and you're not willing to hand over the 20% to DoorDash or the 25% to Uber Eats, we can help you. And I don't mean we, this isn't my business. I'm just trying to, provide some options here for people that I try and support on a daily basis regularly. So just trying to provide ideas. But what I mean is you can transform into a curbside pickup if you're a restaurant. I've noticed some restaurants in my area here in Vancouver that were very forward thinking. They have the website, they've been building an email list. This is what they did. And by doing that, it provided them options to be able to still collect some revenue. A lot of the restaurants that were so old school that had nothing, no online presence, maybe no very few even reviews online. Right now, those are the ones that are scrambling, and those are the ones that I hope I can help with the most. And by nature of deploying this strategy, the goal is that you'd be able to build an audience so that whenever everything blows over, you're better off for the future, right? You have this list of email addresses and phone numbers that you can turn to get them back in your store to help them support you through the next phase of your business. All right. So the example that I wanted to use was I pulled this literally out of thin air, and this doesn't necessarily need to apply to restaurants, but I think that curbside pickup was something that I saw a Shopify consultant actually on Twitter post a Google slide deck about. So she put together a slide deck walking through how to set up a Shopify store and build an online pickup curbside store is what she's calling it. So this is the slide deck, and it's available. I'll link it in the description. It's available to anybody, but it primarily has screenshots, and I wanted to just record a video just to emphasize how attainable this is. I've never actually created a Shopify store. I don't, again, for a disclaimer, I don't run my business off of Shopify. I'm not a restaurant. I'm not a service-based business at all, in a sense that I need to be interacting with people on it. So I'm obviously very, very fortunate for that. But I just wanted to provide a disclaimer. These are only for kind of information purposes. This is not my expertise. I just wanted to put a little context to all the information that's out there to try and simplify it as much as possible to make sure that people knew this option was even available. A lot of people that I talk to they don't even know, right? The only option that they have is kind of waiting for the government to potentially defer lease payments or defer some obligations so that they can stay afloat for the next few months. But again, just trying to provide a potential partial solution. And I start off by going through these slides. She has 55 give or take slides here, and yeah, the goal is just to walk through them and do a real example. So I picked a local juicery that has a website, and they do not have a gift card option. They do not have a curbside pickup option. The best that they have right now is a DoorDash option, which just recently started. So I'm going to go through an example of setting up that store, the Shopify store, for this company. They're called Seduced. They're here in Kitsilano. And yeah, just a couple extra, if you stick around to the end, I think the main difference or benefit that this video can have for you is not just the idea of setting up a store and offering gift cards, but the kind of upsell framework that is going to help you recoup rather than just, let's say a small offer, $49.59, you can potentially get 2 to 3 times that from a customer upfront. And it's just through a little psychology trick that some of the biggest companies in the world are using. You've probably seen it in shopping carts, but you can deploy it very, very easily by just using one of these free plugins in your Shopify store. So let's jump into the demo. All right, so I'm just going to narrate over this. The purpose of me going through this in sped up real time, I guess, is just to emphasize how easy it is to actually get started. So this is at 500% speed, but this is actually me going through it all. Again, it took me like 30, 45 minutes to set this up with the products. So what happens is you go to shopify.com. They ask you a little bit about your business, whether or not you're selling offline. It just, populates the most contextual relevant information in your account. Super, super easy. You don't have to put a credit card in to start your trial. You just put in the basic details of your company. You will need to put in a payment information to access gift cards as a feature, but you don't get charged until 90 days post the date that you start your trial at this point. So it's a pretty good deal. Once you create your account, first thing you want to do is start populating all your products. So in this case, I'm doing it for Seduced Kitsilano or Seduced Vancouver. So I'm literally going in and adding their entire menu. I've never gone in here and done this before, so I don't know all the tips and tricks, but the way I set it up was that I tagged all of the products that were of similar nature so that you can categorize them on your homepage, because you can build a collection or a category based on tags. So for example, if you have all services related to one specific thing or all products related to one specific thing, tag it as such, because then you can build a collection and it's just much easier to display on your homepage when you do it that way. So, I mean, tons of features that you can try and figure out later. But obviously you just need the price, description, and potentially an image, depending on what you're serving or what you're adding here. But I'm probably going to fast forward through a lot of these products as I added virtually their entire menu. And I just found that duplicating the product is a pretty easy way of blasting through what I needed. All right, so once you get all your products added, now is the time to start building your store. So I just use one of their free themes, more than enough to get started. Again, the main purpose here is just to get your products online and to be able to, offer a curbside pickup if you're a restaurant, or just offer a gift card solution if you aren't necessarily a restaurant. So right now I'm on two screens, so you don't really see everything that's going on. I'm just looking for the color so that I can make a relevant header, just some styling updates. You don't necessarily need to do all this. You can use their base template, which I basically did. The only thing I'm changing right now is the color of some of the buttons to match their existing brand. And then I go through and add the different collections, which are the headers of their menu, things like wraps, smoothies, shakes, that kind of thing. So as you see me going through and adding all the different collections, it might be a good time to chat briefly about the offer that you're trying to build. So once I get this all put up and set up, the goal again is really to direct your customers to your website, assuming you don't have one already, to your website to buy something. You want to collect revenue up front. So you need to make an offer that is incredibly good, right? The best offer, the offer that every single person that has bought from you before would buy, because it's a no-brainer. So you need to make a great offer and then upsell them to something else. So the reason why we're building this Shopify store and you can do this on a number of different platforms. Like if you're using Wix, they have plugins for a shopping cart. If you're using WordPress, they have plugins. The reason I'm using Shopify as an example is just because, it's a very urgent problem that I see, and the steps that Shopify is going to facilitate solving these problems for small business owners is enormous. So I definitely think that not only are they the best provider, they'll be around the longest, there's going to be the most help around these platforms. They're most aggressively building in support of small businesses. So those are just a few examples of why I wanted to use Shopify as the demo here. And also it's just the easiest to use. As a small business owner, you can see I'm not doing anything revolutionary. I'm just literally adding products and adding categories, and it's virtually ready to go. I can almost start selling immediately. So it's very, very easy to use. If you have, again, a small service business and you want to start collecting some revenue up front, this is what I would encourage you to do, is just build the store and if you already have a website, you can do an extension. You could do like store.yourdomain.com and just have all your products there. And that's where you can list your offer. And then again, the goal is to get people to buy the offer so that then there's just a one-click upsell, and then you sell them more of that exact same thing. And you're not trying to take advantage of people. Really what the goal is just to offer them more of what they're going to buy anyway, so you can pull the future into the present to make sure be self-sustaining through this period of time. So the demo that I'm following that I mentioned suggests to coordinate the store for roadside pickup. So all I'm doing right now is changing the email templates.
Super, super easy. Again, you just go to the settings in the bottom left corner once inside into your store. And then you go to notifications and you can see shipping confirmation. So there's two emails that you want to edit if you're offering a roadside pickup. One is shipping confirmation, which is just saying, or yeah, this shipping confirmation is basically saying your order's ready, right? So if you ordered a burger and you want to make sure you know when, or let people know when they can expect you to come out to their car and put it in their trunk, or when they can, stand outside and you can hand it to them. However, the logistical process is going to work with you. These are just the basic two emails that you need to change to make a relevant context, because right now they obviously think that you're going to be shipping them a product in the mail, which isn't the case. So right now it's an upgrade, but I just need to pick a plan to be able um, to use or enable the discount, not the discount, the gift card feature. So it takes me a couple seconds here to figure out what I have to do, but what the solution is just to actually choose a plan, put your payment details in. It allows you to then access that feature. Again, it doesn't charge you for 90 days, but you do need to select a plan to enable that feature. So you can see the website's kind of taking shape. I don't have images for everything, but I just chose 3 products where I did have images for and added those to the homepage, so it looks okay. Just again, to give you an idea of how easy it is to get this going. It shouldn't take more than a couple hours to get this entire thing rolling for you, and hopefully you have some type of phone list or email list or something. If not, even just like a Facebook page that you can post to, or if not that, maybe a community, or if not that, you could put a sign on the door that sends people to this, right? So this is just me putting in payment details so that I can get that that option for gift cards. So I don't really even end up using the gift card functionality. Like, there's a lot you can do with it, but the goal is to be able to offer your customers the ability to give you money up front for something, right? So you're making a promise that you're going to deliver a service in the future. So the way they have it set up makes it super easy. You just choose different denominations of your gift card. Yeah, so just for the sake of this example, I just put it in the template that the website comes with. At the bottom of the homepage, it just says, consider supporting us by purchasing a gift card. You can also put it in the header. You can put it in an email. You can put it anywhere you want. Again, the main goal is just having some offer out there where people have the ability to support you. The way I think about it is, if there's no offer online for people to give you money, it's very hard for people to support you if that isn't the case, right? They can buy, a few meals from you via DoorDash, but there's no, in my experience, it always follows the 80-20 rule. So 20% of your most loyal fans will be willing to give you 80% of the revenue that you make over these next 3 months. So if you don't give them the option to support you significantly more than everybody else, it's just to your detriment. So right now I'm just going through and adding an image and some of the basic stuff, but the site's basically done at this point.
All right, so that was how easy it is to get to this point, which is just uploading all your products and potentially having a gift card option. I think what really would set this all apart, though, is not just the ability to have a gift card on your site, but it's when you have your customers go in and buy a certain product from you, the ability to upsell them. And upselling them is extremely ethical. I don't know if you've ever been at the till in a store when you're kind of looking around thinking, if they were offering me something else, I would probably buy it. There just doesn't seem like any good options right now. That's exactly the type of mentality that you want to kind of instill in your customers, to not only try and provide more value to them, but hopefully be able to collect more revenue up front. And then what that looks like is you can actually use a upsell add-on. So if you go into the App Store in Shopify, you just go to apps here and you search for upsell. And then this bold product upsell has the same 90-day trial that you get with Shopify. And so basically it's free until like the middle of June if you start it right now. And what it allows you to do is when people, add something to their cart, or when they're about to check out, you can have a little pop-up with a specific product. And what I would recommend, you can look at other suggestions, but what I would recommend is having, and ignore this image, but what I'd recommend is having something that's about 3 times more expensive than what they're about to buy. And ideally, it's just more of the same thing. So the example I gave one of my friends was, if you're selling, a tire, like a tune-up as a tire shop, rather than just selling the one offer, you obviously want to put together one really great offer. But when they're about to check out, once you've already got their payment details, the goal would be to present another offer that says, do you want 3 more of these? Or do you want 5 more of these? And if not, oh, maybe do you only want 1 more of these, right? That bump in revenue and added cart revenue for you is going to be absolutely massive. It will double or triple your revenue right up front. So there's no reason not to do it, except especially because these apps are completely free. They're extending their trial for this, unprecedented situation. So you definitely should be taking advantage of it. All right, so that's it. That's how easy it is to really set up a Shopify store. There's a few things that I didn't, continue to edit, obviously, but you can get everything matching all your products online. You can offer a gift card. You can do the curbside pickup thing. You can have upsells, and honestly, I've never set up a Shopify store before in my life, and this took me about 45 minutes. And I probably added 50 products as well. So, well, literally their entire menu, like Yogi Bowl, everything they had. I don't have pictures for everything, but you get the point. It's definitely doable. So I would absolutely suggest to any single small business that feels like they're being affected by this right now to, suggest that they offer gift cards. Get them to put together an offer that is quote unquote an irresistible offer, where it's a no-brainer for people to buy this because they're going to be using your service in the future anyway. Once they buy that offer, they submit their credit card, present them even more. Again, if those customers been working with you, like if Seduce offered me this, I'm going to their place once or twice a week indefinitely anyway. If they said, buy 5 smoothies and you get 40% off or something, I'm going to do that. And then if they at the cart they were like, oh, if you buy 15 smoothies, you get 60% off, I'm going to do that as well. Right. So it just depends how much of a discount you want to offer, and then the ability to get this in front of your customers. So by the nature of doing this, by nature of having everything online, the goal is to be building that contact database. Hopefully you have something somewhere so you can reach out to at least, a partial list of your customers. But again, that's the goal, right? You're building the audience by presenting this offer because you get people to buy this offer. Then it's the same thing as Groupon, which was a multi-billion-dollar company that was built on this exact same formula that's put an irresistible offer in front of people and then upsell them into something new. And you know what I mean? Like once you get people hooked into that irresistible offer, they're willing to spend more. And that's literally it. So I hope that this was valuable to some extent. If you have any questions, I'm not a Shopify expert. I don't set up these stores for a living. I could point you in the direction of people that do. I think it's an app that is easy enough to use that if you have any ability to navigate technology at all, you definitely should be able to set it up on your own. But if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I'll leave my email address in the description. So if you don't have a website already, definitely go check out Shopify. Their offer is just like I mentioned, one of those irresistible offers. It's free for 90 days. All the add-ons that I told you are completely free. You can collect payments, everything for up to 90 days. So hopefully it bridges the gap and you can find some value out of their program. They're literally probably the best tech company, in my opinion, that exists. So highly recommend that. No affiliate code or anything. Just go to shopify.com and check them out. And if you have any questions, shoot me an email. Have a good day.